Hello everyone, welcome back to Arpita Sharma classes. At Arpita Sharma classes, we try to provide you with the Hindu newspaper analysis, word by word important aspects of the newspaper, and also we share the prelims related mock questions with every article. So in today's lecture also we are going to do the same thing. We are going to make sure that we present the article which is important in the Hindu newspaper. We also present the paper relevance with the article, and then we explain the article in detail. So let's get started. This is 7th of October 2022, Friday, and we are going to decode the newspaper today. First article is World Bank pares India financial year 23 growth projection to 6.5%. So World Bank has trimmed its estimate for India's growth in the current fiscal year, that is financial year 2022-23, to 6.5%, 1% point lower than its previous projection. Previously it was in last fiscal year it was 8.7%, 7% हुआ उसके बाद. अब उसके बाद ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि वर्ल्ड बैंक बोलता है कि 6.7% का ग्रोथ रेट रहेगा फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2023 में. Now what is World Bank? World Bank is an international financial institution. The name bank over here, it's a financial institution. Now because it is international, that means it lends and gives money to the governments of different nations, specifically in the low and middle income nations, to fund their capital projects. जितने भी infrastructure, health या कोई भी capital project है किसी भी low income या middle income nation का, उसको funding में जो help देते हैं वो World Bank से मिलती है. And it is headquartered in USA. Okay, now it was also the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD, is also a part of it. IBRD and IDA, that is International Development Association, these are two of the World Bank Group's 5 international entities. World Bank Group की 5 development institutions है. IBRD is one of them. Then there is International Development Association, International Finance Corporation, Multilateral Guarantee Agency, and International Center for Settlement of Investment Dispute. When they are lending, if there is any kind of dispute related to investment, for that also they have an association. तो यहाँ पर ये 5 एसोसिएशन ना 5 पिलर्स हैं वर्ल्ड बैंक की जो आपको याद रखना है. And it was formed with the IMF at the 1944 Bretton Woods Conference. So these are the 5 agencies in World Bank का group, which is IBRD, IDA, IFC, MIGA, and International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. Now let us talk about the most important aspect of this particular article, which is the membership. A country must first become a member of IMF. यानी कि अगर World Bank की membership चाहिए, if you want to join the World Bank group, first you need to become a member of the International Monetary Fund, and then the countries will have to join IBRD before they may join IDA or IFC or MEGA, right? अगर उनको IDA, IFC या MEGA join करना है तो उससे पहले इनको IBRD join करना पड़ेगा. And all of the following requirements must be met to become a member of ICSID, International Center for Settlement of Investment Dispute. If they want to become its members, then they have to follow all the requirements of this, these requirements. First, they should have membership in IBRD. Okay. Secondly, they should be signatory to International Court of Justice and invitation of the International Center for Settlement and Investment Dispute by a vote of 2/3 of its member. These are the 3 requirements that they need to follow in order to become a member of ICSID. तो ये membership ना आपके prelims के लिए, this is solely not important for mains, it is solely important for prelims. Coming on to solving the mock questions based on this article, which one of the following organizations is not a part of the World Bank Group? Just now we studied there are 5 organizations which are a part of World Bank Group. तो इसमें से कौन सी organization part नहीं है? IBRD, yes, it's a part. International Development Association, yes, it's a part. MEGA is also a part. But GATT, it's a part of WTO, Journal Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. It is not a part of World Bank. So C is the correct answer over here. Okay. Question number 2. Consider the following statements with reference to International Development Association. IDA aims to reduce poverty by providing loans to world's poorest countries. IDA loans have low to medium interest charge which depends on from nation to nation. कौन सा statement correct है? Here second statement is wrong. Okay, इसमें correct answer है A. Okay. Coming on to the next very important article, Annie Ernaux wins Literature Nobel. So this is relevant for prelims and art and culture. It's relevant for for your international prizes, it's relevant for paper 2 also. Nobel Prize in Literature 2022 is ये दिया गया है French author Annie Ernaux को. Now it has been seen in the previous year question papers also that questions related to Nobel Prize were very few, but since the last 3 years, since 2020, UPSC has altogether changed the pattern of prelims examination. Now they are including sports ka awards also, different kind of awards as well. Okay, miscellaneous topics are being included. That is why studying this topic is really important. Okay, because now the pattern has changed somewhat, so we have to remember the recent Nobel prizes and Nobel prize winners. So literature में मिला है Annie Ernaux को. She is a French national, 82 years old, and she writes very different genres of books. More than 20 books she has authored, and she has also written school textbooks. Right now, another important point is that she writes from her experiences. जो उनके साथ लाइफ में हुआ ना, उसी एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पे ये किताबें लिखती है. She has written on unwanted pregnancy, abortions, love affairs, etc. That was basically a very orthodoxical topic back in 1980s, but she was bold enough to write it down, right, and publish the book. So that is why this is very, very important. Now, Nobel Prize in Literature, prestigious International Nobel Prize in Literature is awarded annually. This is first important point for prelims that you have to remember. ये साल में एक बार दिया जाता है, annually दिया जाता है for outstanding work in literature. First, it was given in 1901. This is another second important fact for prelims. It was given in 1901 and it was first won by Sully Prudhomme. तो यहाँ पर सली प्रूडहोम को, this is the third important fact for prelims, पहली बार नोबेल प्राइज लिटरेचर में मिला था. Okay, and Nobel Prize in Literature has been awarded 114 times to 118 Nobel Prize laureates. Okay, that you have to remember. ये आपका fourth important point हो गया. Statement wise question can be asked on this topic. Coming on to the next important article, LG flags pending Delhi government bills. So LG Vinay Kumar Saxena has directed the Chief Secretary to look into a complaint regarding non-payment of bills worth 16 crore by Delhi government. Now we see often in news that LG and the Chief Minister of Delhi are always indulged in a tussle. चाहे कोई भी एलजी बदल कर आ जाए, चीफ मिनिस्टर के साथ उसके पंगे रहते ही है. सो हियर देयर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल फॉर पेपर 2 व्हिच इज आर्टिकल 239AA. व्हाट इज इट? क्या है ये आर्टिकल, समझ लेते हैं. दिल्ली इज a union territory, but it is not administered by the president. Okay, acting through the LG under Article 239. Delhi, although a union territory, is not administered by the president, acting through the LG. No, ऐसा नहीं होता. Under Article 239, Article 239AA was incorporated in 1992. Basically, this article gives a special constitutional setup. Now, what is this special constitutional setup? The setup is that yes, the government and the council of minister in Delhi are elected by elections, elected via the people's support. Okay, but there is a certain demarcation of responsibilities between CM and council of ministers and LG. Okay, as per this article, the Delhi Assembly can legislate on all matters which are listed in the state list. State list में जितने भी matters listed है, दिल्ली की जो गवर्नमेंट है वो उस पर एक्ट कर सकती है. कंकरेंट लिस्ट में जो भी सब्जेक्ट्स मेंशन्ड है उस पे भी एक्ट कर सकती है. ठीक है, बट पब्लिक ऑर्डर, पुलिस एंड लैंड, दीज 3 subjects which are the main subject in any state, they are administered by LG, and that is why CM and LG are always fighting. पब्लिक ऑर्डर, पुलिस और लैंड, ये किसी भी स्टेट में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट होते हैं मैनेज करने के लिए, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट होते हैं. बट इसी को चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं, LG हैंडल करता है. चीफ मिनिस्टर सेज व्हेन आई हैव बीन पॉपुलरली इलेक्टेड बाय पीपल्स चॉइस, देन व्हाई एम आई नॉट हेडिंग और एडमिनिस्ट्रिंग दीज की एरियाज इन अ पर्टिकुलर स्टेट. राइट, सीएम का कहना है कि जब मैं पॉपुलर वोट के साथ इलेक्ट हुआ हूँ, मुझे जनता की सहमति मिली है, तो ये पुलिस, पब्लिक ऑर्डर और लैंड, ये इतने क्रूशियल सब्जेक्ट्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के, ये मेरे अंडर नहीं है. और जो मैं काम करता हूँ उसमें भी एलजी इंटरफेयर करने की कोशिश करते हैं. एंड आई कैन नॉट डायरेक्ट द पुलिस और मेंटेन द पब्लिक ऑर्डर डायरेक्टली व्हेन देयर इज द एलजी व्हिच इज प्रेजेंट. दैट इज द टसल. उसी के बीच में ना लड़ाई होती रहती है यहाँ पर. Now, when we talk about the Chief Minister of Delhi, he is appointed by the President, not by the LG. Okay, that you have to remember. It's a special case over here. And other ministers are appointed by President on the advice of Chief Minister. Okay, but when we talk about the chapter on Chief Minister, M. Lakshmikant book में आप देखोगे, for general states, not for Delhi, but general states, Article 164 of the Constitution says that Chief Minister will be appointed by the Governor. जो जर्नल आपके बाकी के स्टेट्स हैं उसमें बोला जाता है कि आर्टिकल 164 के तहत चीफ मिनिस्टर को गवर्नर अपॉइंट करते हैं, मतलब अपॉइंट मींस द ओथ इज टेकन थ्रू द गवर्नर. ओके, अपॉइंट तो ऑब्वियसली दे विन द इलेक्शन एंड देन दे कम, बट द ओथ टू बिकम द चीफ मिनिस्टर इज गिवन बाय द गवर्नर टू द चीफ मिनिस्टर. And the leader of a party that has got the majority share of votes in the assembly election, that person is appointed as the chief minister. Governor, what is the role of governor? He becomes a nominal executive authority, but real executive authority lies with the chief minister only in other states. यहाँ पर तो there is a tussle between chief minister and LG, right? But in other states, chief minister is the real executive authority. Okay, and always remember, bureaucrats are also part of executive. So you becoming a civil servant, you will be a part of executive. Okay, आप executive का ही part होगे. You will be representing the government among the masses. Now, terms of chief minister क्या होता है? Term of chief minister is not fixed. He holds office during the pleasure of governor. He cannot be dismissed by governor as long as he enjoys majority support. Legislative assembly में support ज़्यादा है तो governor के governor उन्हें dismiss नहीं कर सकते if he is having the support of majority. But yes, if there is a vote of no confidence against him, he will be removed. Okay. अदर फंक्शंस आर, दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स, ये आपके प्री के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वो स्टेट प्लानिंग बोर्ड के हेड होते हैं, वाइस चेयरमैन होते हैं जोनल काउंसिल के, एंड इंटर स्टेट काउंसिल या गवर्निंग काउंसिल नीति आयोग का स्टेट वाइज, उसमें भी वो मेंबर होते हैं जिसको प्राइम मिनिस्टर हेड करते हैं. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के इज द चीफ स्पोक्समैन, एंड जितने भी सर्विसेज होते हैं ना उसके पॉलिटिकल हेड भी, जितने भी स्टेट सर्विसेज है उसके पॉलिटिकल हेड भी हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर ही होते हैं. ओके. Coming on to the next very important editorial, we are going to cover two editorials today. Strengthening the CSR framework is a profitable idea. You can expect definitely one question in mains on this particular topic. इस topic पे आप definitely एक question mains में 2023 या 24 में expect कर सकते हो. Please go through this article very carefully. Now here it is, they are saying, the author is saying, when the CSR regime was established in India under section 135 of Companies Act 2013, CSR spending in India has increased. जब से CSR कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का जो रिजीम है उसको सेक्शन 135 के तहत कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 के अंडर स्टैब्लिश किया गया, तब से CSR से जो खर्चा होता है भारत में वो और बढ़ गया है. 10,000 करोड़ के आसपास था 14-15 में, अब 24 करोड़ के आसपास हुआ है 20-21 में. And if we look at the data of CSR for companies, there is no data to verify whether this increase is commensurate. It commensurates with the increase in profits of Indian and foreign companies or not. मतलब CSR से खर्चा कर रहे हैं, but क्या इसी के साथ कंपनीज के प्रॉफिट भी बढ़ रहे हैं? ये क्लैरिफाई करने के लिए अभी हमारे पास डेटा नहीं है. Okay, yes, there were 2,926 companies with zero spending on CSR. That has been recorded. प्राइवेट कंपनीज के अपने खुद के रजिस्टर्ड फाउंडेशन ट्रस्ट होते हैं तो इसलिए वो CSR के थ्रू स्पेंडिंग नहीं करते. बट दिस इज वेग, दिस इज नॉट क्लियर वेदर देयर प्राइवेट फाउंडेशंस और ट्रस्ट आर अलाउड अंडर कंपनीज एक्ट और नॉट. ठीक है, पॉइंट क्लियर. नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर द इश्यूज व्हिच हैव बीन हाइलाइटेड इन दिस आर्टिकल. They say that the Ashoka University, आप देखोगे Ashoka University's Center for Social Impact and Philanthropy जो है वो ये कहता है that 54% of CSR companies are concentrated in Maharashtra. This university is somewhere in Noida. Okay, so Ashoka University का center है अपना Social Impact and Philanthropy का. That center is saying in a data in a report that 54% of CSR companies are concentrated in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Gujarat. मतलब उनको उनमें CSR की spending ज्यादा होती है. और यूपी और मध्य प्रदेश में जो कंपनी CSR रखती है वो बहुत कम पैसा रिसीव करती हैं. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज CSR? यू मस्ट बी वंडरिंग मैम, अगेन एंड अगेन यू आर सेइंग CSR, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज इट? सो बेसिकली व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट CSR, इट मींस, राइट इट डाउन, इट मींस corporate social responsibility. Okay, corporate social responsibility. It is a kind of an idea that a company should play a positive role in the community and consider the environmental and social impact of business decisions. So whatever the decisions or whatever business the company is doing, to make sure that the environment is not impacted, it spends certain part of its profit on the welfare of the environment and ecology. That is CSR fund. वो होता है आपका CSR फंड. कंपनी अपने प्रॉफिट में से कुछ हिस्सा CSR में डालती है ताकि इन्वायरमेंट के वेलफेयर के लिए भी काम साइड बाय साइड या जनता के वेलफेयर के लिए भी साइड बाय साइड काम किया जा सके. and only 9% was spent on environment compared to education, 37% was spent here, and health and sanitation 29%. That is the issue right now, that in spending on environment is very less. CSR के फंड से environment में कंपनी काफी कम खर्चा करती है, ठीक है. So what are the suggestions that the author is giving? This is very important because these suggestions in the editorial जो यहाँ पर दिए जाते हैं author के द्वारा, these suggestions will help you to form better conclusions for your answers. First suggestion is national level platform centralized by MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, where all states could list their potential CSR projects so that the companies can now assess whether their CSR funds would be most impactful and where it will be most impactful. तो क्या हो सकता है, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स ने एक प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार कर सकती है जहां पर सभी स्टेट्स अपने अपने एरिया में जितनी भी कंपनीज हैं वो कौन कौन से CSR बेस्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स लॉन्च करने की सोच रहे हैं उसको लिस्ट डाउन कर सकते हैं, ताकि पता चले कि कहाँ सबसे ज्यादा अटेंशन कंपनीज का है. Second is invest India's corporate social responsibility projects repository on the India Investment Grid, which is IIG. It can also be very impactful. आपके जितने projects हैं उसको India Investment Grid में आप list down कर सकते हो. So that would also enable other people to invest in your projects, in your ideas. Third, in that way awareness will also spread. Third is companies need to prioritize environmental restoration. So because right now here you can see only 9% funding is being spent on environment, you need to increase your funding, at least 25% तो आप रखो environment के लिए, right? So these are the basic suggestions which the author has given in this editorial. Coming on to the second very important editorial, again you can expect a question in this year's in your 2023 exam, domestic ideologies and external settings. National statements by world's political leaders during the general debate at UNGA are directed primarily to the international community but take into account domestic political and social constituencies. Right now, recently the UNGA meeting is going on. Okay, UNGA का meeting चल रहा है, United Nations General Assembly का, and उसमें we have our own foreign minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs के जो वहाँ पर head है S Jaishankar ji, he is also there. He also passed certain comments, and our Prime Minister also gave his speech. So we are going to assess the comments which have been given by different leaders and different ministers. We are going to understand that how it is going to impact the society at large. What is UNGA? UNGA is the parliament of the world where all the 193 United Nations member states are represented. तो यहाँ पर policy making होती है, basically international policy making. What is the role and function of UNGA? Obviously on important matters decision is taken. For example, if there is any war going on, decision will be taken on the basis of peace, security, etc. World hunger, global issues से related decision होते हैं. Then here on the decisions they are taken through a vote. Voting by majority is done. तो new members जो इसमें add होते हैं कम से कम उन्हें 2/3 majority का vote चाहिए अपनी बात आगे रखने के लिए. Then each country has one vote. ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई एक country है उसके पास 10 vote होंगे. Every country has one vote each. There is no binding veto powers. Assembly में कोई binding votes या veto power नहीं होता. We have veto power in UNSC. The 5 major countries in UNSC they have the veto power of saying no or rejecting certain ideas. But in UNGA they do not. The countries do not have any kind of rejection powers. Okay. तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है इन द UNGA ना फॉरेन इन्वेजन्स वर ऑल्सो हाईलाइटेड. इस UNGA की मीटिंग में ना फॉरेन इन्वेजन्स को भी हाईलाइट किया गया था कि बिकॉज राइट नाउ रशिया एंड यूक्रेन वॉर इज गोइंग ऑन ना, सो वॉर के बेसिस पे भी ना काफी बात हुई है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुशान एंड हन इन्वेजन्स ऑफ इंडिया in past they were done. Arab attack in Sindh in the 8th century. Mahmud of Ghazni, right? Latter's invasion led to beginning of the establishment of centuries of Muslim rule in India. So these invasions were also talked about because Russia is also trying to invade Ukraine right now. So how these invasions affect the peace of a nation, that was also discussed. Now our Prime Minister took 5 pledges for the next 25 years during this meeting. First pledge was that we are going to develop India. We are going to convert the developing India into a developed India. Freedom from the idea of servility. What is servility? Servility means an excessive willingness to serve or please others. जब आपके अंदर बहुत ज्यादा इच्छा जाग जाती है ना कि भाई मैं किसी को पूरी तरीके से तन मन धन से किसी की बहुत ज्यादा ही सेवा करूं, किसी को खुश करने की कोशिश में लगे रहूं, उसे सर्विलिटी बोलते हैं. We are not going to be a slave of that idea or that emotion because servility gets converted into slavery. सर्विलिटी से स्लेवरी हो जाती है, एंड दैट कैन ऑल्सो बी सीन इन योर ओन पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स। जब आप किसी को खुश करने में, किसी को बहुत प्यारा महसूस कराने में बिल्कुल अपने आप को झोंक देते हो, एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ योर ओन हैप्पीनेस, एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ योर ओन पीस, मतलब अपनी रिस्पेक्ट साइड में रख देते हो कि भाई मेरे साथ कैसा ट्रीट हुआ था या हुआ है या हो रहा है, या फिर अपने इमोशंस को साइड में रख देते हो कि भाई जो मैं इमोशन दे रहा हूँ क्या उसका 1% भी मुझे मिल रहा है, राइट? क्या मेरे इमोशन की रिस्पेक्ट हो रही है? ये सब साइड में रख के आप बस झुक जाते हो किसी के आगे, पूरी तरीके से भिच जाते हो। दैट इज सर्विलिटी। और उससे ना आप लॉन्ग टर्म में इम्पैक्टेड होते हो, क्योंकि कल को अगर वो बंदा चला गया फिर से, या वो इंसान चला गया आपकी लाइफ से, तो आप वापस से क्या होगे, अपने आप को भूल चुके होगे और कंप्लीटली टूट जाओगे। एंड इंडिया का ये पास्ट में काफी बार हुआ है, जब हमने अपने आप को किसी के लिए किसी को सर्व किया है तो कई हद तक लोगों ने हमारा गलत फायदा उठाया है। तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी ने यही कहा कि भाई ये सर्विलिटी के जो आइडिया है ना, इससे हमें मुक्ति चाहिए, हम इससे ऊपर उठने वाले हैं नेक्स्ट 25 ईयर्स में, तभी हम एक डेवलप्ड नेशन बनेंगे, बिकॉज वी नीड टू रिस्पेक्ट आवरसेल्व्स, ओनली देन द अदर पर्सन विल रिस्पेक्ट अस। प्राइड इन हेरिटेज, यूनिटी एंड सॉलिडारिटी, फुलफिलिंग वंस ड्यूटी, धर्म, आप अपना धर्म, हमें अपना धर्म पूरा करना है, उसके बाद हम बाकियों का देखेंगे। फर्स्ट वी हैव टू मेंटेन एंड फुलफिल आवर धर्म। These are the 5 pledges taken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in this meeting, and this is a wonderful pledge. You can quote it even in your mains and essay ka paper. Okay, and then our foreign minister S Jaishankar also gave his speech. He said that we will liberate ourselves from a colonial mindset. हम अपने आप को एक colonial mindset से liberate करेंगे, and he also basically put forward in front of UNGA that we are going to liberate our mindset, because our mindset is is basically forcing us to become a slave. So we have, first we are going to liberate ourselves from colonial mindset, secondly we are going to value our ancient tradition and heritage, ठीक है, जिससे भारत बना है, जिस बेसिस पे, उस बेस को हमें सपोर्ट करना है। we are going to protect and take care of our environment, only then India can achieve great success in the future. Okay, so these speeches, please go through them, because they help you to write form very great answers. इसको आप अपने आंसर में भी incorporate कर सकते हो। So this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. ये था आपका 20 minutes का lecture हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर का। If you really are enjoying these lectures, please let me know in the comment section also. I also feel motivated in continuing with these lectures when you tell me that yes, these lectures are helping you. Okay. On that note, we are wrapping up this session. Thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead.